obviously very disappointed with the outcome and the score. Great start of the game. A lot of players were really ready to play. Not in awe, not intimidated by the crowd, by the stadium, by the trip, by the players. And we're really, really ready to play. And we came out and had a great start, just in reviewing it, with Leland Meyer's breakaway run there. Outran everybody on the field, which is the first time he's done that since we've had it. He doesn't do that in practice, but he sure did it in the game. There were 6 big plays to me in the first half. I always say there's 5 plays in a game that are the difference between winning and losing. And there was 6 plays that went against us, I thought, in the first half. Then the next play was the interception by Trayvon that he made a great play on. It was called for pass interference and made a great run. And that would have, put us up 14-7 right there, which would have been a great way to start. So I think that was a major play. Then when we were 14-7, Marlon's kickoff return made it 14-7. That was a tremendous play. Jeremy Springer, who just walked by, got 2 blocks on that kickoff return. He blocked the guy who was supposed to, knocked him down on the ground. Then when Marlon switched and came back his way, then he got in line and made a second block and got an award for that on Sunday for us. Big, strong Jeremy, backup linebacker, big, strong kid, and did a great job. Then they faked the reverse. I thought that was an important play because right after we got the touchdown, then they faked the reverse, and number 7 Davis went 70 yards on that play, and that was a big play against us in that first half. And but yet we still came back at 14-14, and Trevor hit Chris Adams down the sideline with a great throw, a great catch, right on the money, and that led to our blocked field goal, which was an important play. Low kick and too much penetration up the middle, and they blocked the kick. And Arkansas drove down and did a nice job and scored. And then when it was 14-21 at the end of the first quarter in a short yardage situation, I felt like we made the first down by yards or a long yard, and disagreed with the official and got my first penalty of my coaching career. And that certainly didn't help us. Then the second quarter, right off of that, they threw a deep pass for a touchdown, and then we had a good drive going. Again, we fought back, right back into that game, 14-28 in the second quarter, and drove down and 3rd and 4, and broke down in our pass protection, and Trevor had to spin out of it and threw across his body late into the middle of the field, and they got an interception on the 24-yard line. So that was a big play. And then we did a pretty good job of holding them. They drove down, and we had their number 11 all wrapped up on a diagonal drive across the middle, and we missed the tackle, and he went in 15 yards for the score. And then I think being able to drive the length of the field, 13 plays with 1 minute and 35 seconds to go in the game, or in the half, showed a lot of effort on our part. We do a great job. I think I say this every week in our Mayday offense, and again we drove down there and had a chance for a legitimate field goal, and then the bad snap. So we didn't go in on a high note, into the halftime. Unfortunately, it got worse in the halftime. It was an expensive game. At halftime, we discovered that we lost 7 of our players to injury for the second half, so we were out without some real good players in that second half. And then the second play of the third quarter, Trevor goes down in the second series. Then Obi goes down, our defensive end. So we were without 9 players in that second half, which resulted, I knew this was going to happen. I can see it coming that, that Arkansas would run the ball and keep the ball away from us and not give us a chance to get back in the game, and they did a very, very good job. They grounded the clock out, they ran the ball, we couldn't stop them, a few play action passes thrown in there, and we only had the ball 4 times in the second half. It's hard to have it come back when you only have the ball 4 times in the second half, and only 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. So that second half went by 5. I was worried about that happening to us, and it came to fruition, in the fourth quarter, where they just rounded out big guys, strong guys, and we were without some people, and they did better than we did. However, there was no give up on our team. There was just get up on our team. We just, football's a game of get ups, and we got up. We got knocked down, but we got up. We got knocked down. We got up. We got knocked down. We got up, all the way to the last play of the game. We played as hard as we could possibly play for 60 minutes, and with great courage. And I commend our football team on that. I think you had to be there. Jeff was there on the sidelines, obviously doing his job, and I think you had to be down there to see just how much effort our team put into this game and how much effort they tried. We did not execute well. We did, however, you'd think with the crowd noise, a big crowd like that would have some offsides or penalties. We had no offsides penalties or illegal procedure penalties or bad snaps. I think we got our centers back and did a good job with that. Trevor is the toughest quarterback I have ever coached. One of the toughest players I've ever coached. His injury right now, there's nothing, we x-rayed it. He wouldn't be helped off the field. He had to hop off the field. He would not be helped into the locker room. He would ride a cart. He wanted to walk in the locker room. He had it x-rayed in the second half, in the second half, and nothing broken. And so I don't bet against him playing. He's already had an MRI, and once you rip a ligament, you rip a ligament. You can't rip it twice. So he's got a lot of ligaments ripped. He's going to have serious surgery coming up at the end of the season. No question about that, on his right ankle. But there's nothing he can. We're looking for broken bones, actually. But he has no broken bones. So it's just going to be a matter of time before he's ready to go again. Well, they had a great start. I think that they're not in awe of playing anybody or anywhere. And I think that they know that they can play good and spectacular at times and execute our offense and our defense. But their wide receivers are all named Johnson. And the best one is number 3, Demarius Johnson, who is 3 yards short of breaking the NC2A record in kickoff returns. He's a spectacular player. He's like Marlon McClure, very much built like that, and that type of just a great return specialist. Runs the screen, runs the reverse for him. Haven't thrown an awful lot to him this year as they did in the past couple of years. He was more of a receiver for him. The guy that we got to stop is G.J. Kinney. I always want to call him J.G., but it's G.J. Kinney. Transfer from Texas. Their quarterback is really, really exceptional. He runs the ball really well. He throws the ball well. He's got a great arm. He's really starting to learn the offense. It's a little bit different than when Malzone was there. It's not quite as fast and trickery. They're running more options with this carried the ball 31 times against Houston. So that'll tell you one thing there. They run the regular shotgun zone option, zone read, where you read the end, and then they run the midline option, where he does the same thing but kind of skates with the back and reads the middle linebacker to tell you whether he should give or go. And they do a real good job of that. And he's big enough where he can run up in the middle on that midline option. So, but they've got all kinds of weapons: tight end, U-back, slot back, Clay, great big guy, real good player. On defense, they're playing hard. They have linebackers are real good. They got a freshman linebacker from Tulsa that's a fantastic player. Geez, he's having a great year. And another freshman safety who's, I think, leading our conference in interceptions. Nelson, he had three interceptions against Houston. And but their pass defense has people have hit on them on their pass defense, but they're solid against the run, and they play hard. 4 or 5%. Yeah, 4 or 5 of the touchdown pass to Chris Adams, and that had to do a lot for his confidence. I just got through talking to JT actually, and he's up watching film already. Really excited about getting a chance to play, and we'll see how much he does play. But obviously he'll play a little bit, and was pleased with him. And we took him out there at the end. Just we don't want to get him hurt too. So probably Vitito number 1, JT number 2. Meager than Tate. Meager and because Meager and JT are probably closer in the things that they do with the ball and the offensive plays that we would call. But Tate's doing a real good job too. It's very close. It's going to be an interesting spring at the quarterback position, to say the least, with those guys. I wouldn't shut the door on anything that Trevor Vitito does. I don't know if he'll practice tomorrow or not, but he'll be out there. Definitely, and he's getting rehab constantly. If you want to find him, he's in the training room, so he's an amazing guy. I would not be surprised if he's our starting quarterback against us. There's nothing more that can happen to the leg, or to the ankle. It would have to take another injury for him not to be able to play eventually. So after a victory against Tulsa, and we wait a week to find out where we're going for a bowl game, I would definitely count on Vitito being in that bowl game, and don't count him out as their starter Saturday. And don't forget we had Johnny Lee Higgins around here too. He's different than Johnny Lee though. Johnny Lee made even worse decisions. Golly, it was like, what's he doing catching the ball? Yeah, run. Marlon's been much smarter. Marlon's much smarter with the ball back there. But boy, we've had some. And he's just, he's got 2 more years to play. We got to get the ball to him downfield a little bit more. And well, he only played half the game because he had a bruised clavicle and hamstring. So. But he's fine. I saw him today too, and he's fine. He'll suck it up. You can't keep that guy out. He's like Trevor. I told the official before the game, when we were friends, I told the official before the game, I said, you see that little guy? He might be the best player on the field right here. Little guy in the